Partnerships mean a lot. It's what I think is really good about franchising in its own right. You're not alone. You get that extra support.
I would say it's one of the best business plannings I've ever been through. In terms of how I got to Scoop Soldiers, I guess we're the original franchisees.
You are, yeah.
I was looking for an opportunity to move from the corporate world into business ownership, right? And this was a fantastic stepping stone for that. From a partnership perspective, I think you have to find personalities that mesh together, right? It also helps to spread workload, right? And if there are challenges along the way or things to celebrate, right? You have a team to celebrate with. I wouldn't want to go it alone.
Happy day, EJ McCoy here with Bryan Bracchi at our Scoop Soldiers 2025 Staging Summit. We are getting ready for not only 2026, but the next 5 and 10 years. And so, Bryan, you've done some business planning with Michaela and Kendra, you and John. You spent a couple of months working on that.
Yep.
Talk to me about how that business planning, what's that's been like for you. I mean, you know something about this. You've done some business plans. Heck, you've probably been on the other side of that table helping other people with their business plan. Talk to us about how Scoop Soldiers is doing and how you guys did in your business planning.
Yeah, the process is really thorough and extremely helpful going through the business planning process. And the great thing about it is you're building your business plan for you and your profitability and your growth and the growth of your business and your livelihood for that of you, your employees, and your family. So it's very meaningful, and I would say it's one of the best business plannings I've ever been through. I've done those when I worked in corporate America, but the buy-in's not the same when a company's making you do it and you're an employee, right? But when you're a business owner, it's that much more meaningful because you want to really try to dial it in and figure out how you can make that meaningful and drive growth and profitability in your territory.
Absolutely. And I love that you talked about the level of ownership, the engagement, and the difference corporate America versus franchising. And so I want to talk two things with you now and give you a chance to talk on this. Talk to me about your experience in the corporate world, you know, what you've done in your profession, what got you to Scoop Soldiers, and then maybe go into your experience in the franchising world and you know, what you see as the benefits to franchising.
Sure. Yeah, thanks. So yeah, my background, I mean, quick high level. When I graduated from college, I was an Army officer. So a little bit of tie into the Scoop Soldiers brand, right? Just from the fact that I was actually in the military and served as an Army officer. When I got out off active duty, back in the year 2000, I went into the corporate investment world. So, you know, working with financial advisors across the country, working for different mutual fund companies and financial services firms, calling on folks in that space. And so did that for about 20 years, and then actually moved into the advisory world myself and started, joined a practice in the Dallas area where I'm from and you know, began to build my own practice with one of my best friends. Today that's where I am today. In terms of how I got to Scoop Soldiers, I guess we're the original franchisees.
You are, yes.
You know, one of my really good friends, a guy named Ron Battaglia, he approached me, and Ron and I knew each other for, I guess, 25 years. We met in 2000.
I didn't realize y'all knew each other that long. That's awesome.
Yeah, Ron and I met at the Dallas-Fort Worth Auburn Club, and we were both Auburn graduates. And so it was 25, I guess, 25 really relationship. And Ron was looking for, he'd sold off his lawn care business and was looking at other business opportunities and was looking for partners. And he just thought, with my background and you know, my experience, he thought that I'd be a great fit as a business partner. So he reached out to myself and John Amaroufi, my other partner, and just thankful to be here today. And you know,
so as the story goes, Ron, who I knew, and I knew for many years. In fact, I bought his lawn care business from him in 2014, and knew him. And 5 years later, we're franchising Scoop Soldiers, and Ron is saying, hey, I'm over here. I want in. And so from there, he pulled you and John in as his partners, as our very first franchisee.
Yep.
And I say very first. He always wanted to be very clear that he was the first.
Yeah.
you guys and one other actually started, and then you guys bought that other one out. And so that's an awesome story as well.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I don't know if you had anything more to add to that. Sorry.
No. So I guess in terms of like my conversations with Ron and going about, getting involved with becoming franchisees at Scoop Soldiers, the great thing about it is I was looking for an opportunity to move from the corporate world into business ownership, right? And this was a fantastic stepping stone for that. So here we are. I guess we're coming up on what, 6 years?
You're 6 years.
Yep.
And you're in the process of renewing.
Yep.
In our first franchise agreement, they were 5-year agreements, but you've now in the process of renewing for a 10-year agreement.
Yep.
And of course, now they're 10 years. And so we're going to be in business together for another decade, sir. I couldn't be prouder.
Yep, absolutely. We're, John and I are excited, and I know that if Ron were here with us today, I know he would be excited as well. And we wouldn't be here today without him.
And actually, let's segue to that. And so, unfortunately, we lost Ron. I affectionately referred to him as Grandpa Ron. And it started out, I was being condescending and just calling him old, and he just owned it. And he was like, "That's right, Grandpa Ron." And then it became a figure of speech and a affection. And then he became Grandpa Ron of all the Scoop Soldiers. But unfortunately, we lost him about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And so, but that, as sad as that is, and he leaves a great legacy. T-Pig is literally his legacy. 2 years ago at this conference, he was literally stalking T-Pig this, T-Pig that, and everybody's like, what are you saying? And then but a few months later, it was a part of our culture.
Yep.
And so he will absolutely leave a lasting legacy. But what I want to talk about there is partnerships. So not just franchise. I mean, I view franchising as a partnership in itself. But Ron, truly, he looked at it and he said, in his wisdom, he said, "Look, I don't want to do this by myself. I need to bring in partners." And I think that's an element of his legacy. Talk about your experience and the value you see in partnerships, because a lot of times they get a bad rap.
Yep. Yeah. So from a partnership perspective, I think you have to find personalities that mesh together, right? And different skill sets and strengths and weaknesses. And it also helps to spread workload, right? And, financial burden in terms of buying into a franchise. Risk associated with that. And just the overall workload, and then just the ability to collaborate or commiserate, right?
Yes.
If there are challenges along the way or things to celebrate, right? You have a team to celebrate with.
Yeah.
And so that joint ownership opportunity, I wouldn't want to go it alone. I don't think if you ask John today, would he want to go it alone? I don't think he would.
And he owns some businesses solo, I believe.
Yep.
He's a serial entrepreneur. You've got numerous things going. Ron obviously was a serial entrepreneur. And so, I don't think he would either. I agree with you. I think he understands the value in that partnership. And I personal experience in that with Josh Cahill. And everything you just said absolutely rings true.
Yeah.
And Josh would tell you, as he's been struggling with his health this year, and his cancer diagnosis, he would tell you that without a business partner, what would he have done? And I think he still would have we have an awesome team. I think he would have been okay, but he absolutely is talking about that and very grateful in that. And I recognize it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Partnerships mean a lot. It's what I think is really good about franchising in its own right. Is in a lot of those same ways, the same things we just talked about with specific partnerships in y'all's individual business. The same thing rings true for franchising. Is you're not alone. Entrepreneurship's very lonely.
Yep.
And with partnerships and of course with franchising, you get that extra support.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the support that we get from Scoop Soldiers Corporate has been fantastic.
What's your favorite thing? Your favorite piece of support?
I think my favorite. Yeah, that's a good question.
That's a weird way to word it, but what's the thing when you think of Scoop Soldiers and the support the franchisor provides you? What comes to mind first? Is it the obvious stuff like answering the phones and converting leads, or is it other stuff?
I would actually, my brain immediately went to the family kind of environment.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
And the familiarity of that. So if you think about large franchise opportunities from extremely large corporations, right? That with Scoop Soldiers, we get to know
right
original founders, owners,
yes,
employees that are in charge of day-to-day operations,
yep.
and so those personal relationships to me that's my favorite thing personally, because I'm a relationship person. So
we need to do more of that, by the way. I actually owe you a call and a one-on-one meal. Like, we need to do that. Speaking of relationships, like literally that has been on my mind since Florida, since I saw you. And so, yeah, we need to do that. I need you to hold me accountable to that.
Sounds great.
But no, I think that's well said. Well said. And as far as that support goes in that family environment, that means a lot. I'm not always the best at that relationship aspect. So that means a lot. And again, that speaks to our culture and our overall team, because a lot of them help bring that environment.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it really is. It's the Scoop Soldiers family, right?
Yeah. I'll say one last thing to that. And one of the things I'm most proud of when I'm talking to a new possible franchisee and they're looking at different opportunities, what makes us different. And one of the things I routinely talk about is that the way I put it is, and not to be boastful, but is that we are a founder-led franchise. Those are not terribly common unless they're really, really small, which we were 6 years ago, but we're pretty established now as a franchisor. And it's hard to find a franchisor that's established that's still founder-led. That's around, but not that common, especially not in this industry.
Absolutely.
So we're the only one that I know of by that definition in this industry. So.
Yeah. And I think along that, I think it ties us together that much more.
Yeah.
In that we're in this together, right? We're growing this together. We're servicing this together. We all have buy-in from franchisor on your end to the franchisee on our end, right?
Yeah. We are expected to be 100% participation for this conference. Josh was telling me this the other night on the phone. He was telling me, and of course his dad comes from a world of franchising in the restaurant world. And his dad was even saying, Josh, if you guys can get 100% participation in your franchise conference, you guys are rock stars, because nobody does that. And I can promise you it wasn't me. It was Michaela and Kendra. If it was up to me, nobody would have shown up. But no, it was Michaela and Kendra. And even getting close to that is remarkable and speaks to that buy-in. And it really does. And the other piece to that I'll end with is what we're doing as a franchisor that I think is incredibly powerful. I don't think our franchisees even realize how powerful it is for them, and of course, I don't think we realize how powerful it is for the future of our growth, is our Deca expansion. We as a franchisor, there's nobody that I've ever seen that really does this. No franchisor does this, where we as the franchisor are actually saying, you know what, we believe so much in our systems, in our processes, in our opportunity, that we're actually going to launch 10 markets over a course of a 4-month period and build those markets. Because, and of course, we're getting the same support our franchisees are getting. We believe that much in both our business, our capabilities, and the opportunity that we know we can grow through, but also the point in time we're at in this industry and where we're at and where I know we can really dominate. And so we very much so believe in the system, and it's a pleasure to be in business with you, sir. I'm very grateful for your trust in us and this partnership. So thank you, sir. Appreciate you. And we referenced Scooper Dudes earlier just to make sure in franchising, every franchisee has a LLC that is a business name that they've pretty much chosen on their own. We have some really creative ones across our franchise network. The Scooper Dudes is the first.
And
so awesome, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.